Guys, welcome back to my channel. For people who ever wondered and had sleepless nights regarding what should I purchase? Should I purchase a discontinued Royal Enfield Diesel, or should I purchase the 2025-26 KTM Enduro International model? Well, I guess it's the only channel in the world that will give you a comparison between these two absolutely different machines and how is it to live with them. Let me start with the Enduro. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me start with the Diesel. Now, this thing doesn't look like any machine present in India. And obviously, I got to take credit for most of the work that I've done on this bike. But this machine over here as well is a machine that will be rarely used. So you know what? Let me start with a friendly comparison. I'll have an exclusive video regarding what I've done on this bike. But let's have a comparison between a 1990 Royal Enfield Diesel, which produced 4.9 horsepower 35 years ago, as compared to a bike that's producing 46-47 horsepower currently. Point number one, power. Obviously, the KTM Enduro. Point number two, torque. The KTM Enduro. Point number three, low end torque. The Diesel, hands down. Point number four, weight. 200 kgs, 166 kgs. You got to understand 4.9 horsepower, 200 kgs. 166 kgs, 46 horsepower. Weight aspect, obviously the Enduro. Ground clearance, the Enduro. Suspension, the Royal Enfield Diesel. Why, you ask? Even though this has one of the best suspension globally and by far best in India, because my bike comes with suspension number one, suspension number two. If you see, there are springs below as well, multiple suspensions, and then you have a very firm rear suspension. Firm rear suspension, the reason I'm saying it's firm, because I'm used to riding my amazing Impulse, which is parked over there. So yeah, but purely with reference to a number of suspensions, the Royal Enfield Diesel wins over here. Next point. How many people stare at you and give you a thumbs up? Out of 10, maybe 1. Out of 10, maybe 4. Hands down, this bike is far more unique. Far more unique from any angle. And that is my Daisinder barking for no reason. Daisy, stop barking. Stop barking for no reason. Okay, coming back. Lighting. One light, 2, 3. I put the old school halogen bulbs, very rare to get. 4, 5. More lights over here, but obviously by far better lighting. Even though the KTM Enduro doesn't have the best lighting as compared to both of these, obviously this one has better lighting. So lighting goes over there. Wheel configuration, 19-inch, 19-inch, 21-inch, 18-inch. But the KTM Enduro does not get white wall options. This amazing bike, I have ordered white walls, so it's going to look a little more vintage very soon. So I think for the wheels, my Diesel gets an extra point. Oh, talking about wheels, I have kept the Impulse 19-inch tires up front. So even though, apart from it giving a rugged look, it is effective on and off-road. Safety. This one is safer. Let me explain. This bike, if you're on the city, you'll be nicely cruising at 40-50, considering the traffic. If you're on the highway, you'll be cruising at 60. The amount of fun I get riding this bike at 60, I get the same fun riding this bike at 120. Now, at 120, if someone comes suddenly in front of you, you will bang that person. At 60, with the disc brake ahead and the drum brakes in the rear, this bike will stop faster. So with reference to brakes, I think braking, even though theoretically this is a far better configuration, this one will beat the KTM Enduro. Luggage capacity, zero luggage. World War II inspired saddlebags. And I have made a change in the saddlebag. You'll have to just wait for the next video. But yeah, luggage, again the diesel wins. Seating capacity for your wife or your girlfriend. Obviously the KTM Enduro, no seat in the rear. But with a 4.9 horsepower engine, I think saddling one person is more than enough for this bike. By the way, I'm planning to take this bike to IBW, so if this video is launched before IBW, I'll see you there. Next is Elsa Protection. Well, my bike comes with Elsa Protection. See? Elsa? Right here. No Elsa Protection. Every manly bike requires something with reference to Disney. So yeah, I have Elsa Protection here, point over here. Fuel economy. Oh my god, how can I forget that? 23 kilometers. Theoretically, this should go anywhere between 80 to 100 kilometers. I haven't tested it, but I'm assuming even if it gives 60 kilometers, which I think is an extremely fair ask, it is far more fuel efficient. Again, I haven't tested it. My bike may be giving 80 also. I don't know. I've just filled the tank once. It's still not dried up, so I have no idea. Instrument cluster. That's a tough one. We have an optimistic instrument cluster here that shows 160 kilometers, which my speedometer has never gone above 80, but yeah, optimistic instrument cluster. And then you have the KTM instrument cluster. I think the KTM gets the point with reference to the instrument cluster. So point KTM. Handlebar. Come on. Come on. There's no comparison. Come on. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Now keep on looking at this. Look at this. Just look at it. 9-inch risers. Handlebar. The Royal Enfield beats the flat bar KTM 390. Point Royal Enfield. Timeless design. I think both get even point over here because the Enduros looked like this 30 years before. The Enduros will look like this 30 years later. This is a classic evergreen bike. It looks relevant in 2025, look relevant 100 years down the line as well. So I think it's a tie with reference to relevance, with reference to the design. What else can I completely compare? Ooh, which one has a cooler looking engine? How often do you see an engine with a flywheel over here? And if at all your toes do by any chance get in contact with the engine once it's on, out of 10 you may just have 9 toes left. But with reference to the engine coolness, and I've seen people slow down specifically to see this motor churn when I'm riding, point Royal Enfield. There's nothing to see, it's just a normal engine. Crash guard design. Well, I think this crash guard looks far more appealing. I've specifically taken this crash guard because I specifically took these lights. Decent crash guard, but I think the point goes to my Royal Enfield again. What else? I think I've pretty much covered everything that a person could possibly compare a non-existent unicorn Royal Enfield with a rare KTM Enduro. Who do you think won? I think my Royal Enfield did win over the KTM Enduro, but you can place your views over there. Fun fact, apparently this bike was built for the Indian Army to patrol the border. Considering how noisy this bike is, I mean, I don't think this would have been the most sensible option, but apparently this is what it was. Okay, so I think, so for the people who wondered how do these both bikes sound, this is how the Royal Enfield Diesel sounds. I don't know if you can hear the KTM, but KTM is also on. The one thing I like about the Royal Enfield Diesel is the way it shakes. Everything is moving. Look at the bike is alive. And then you have the KTM. The fun fact of Royal Enfield Diesel, you don't need a key to start it. It still sounds like a Bajaj a rickshaw, but a little less. Yes. So if it is face to face, this is how it looks. Side to side, this is how it looks. Back, this is how it looks. So yeah, this was my 360 video, and I think I'm going to conclude over here. Obviously there is no comparison. This is just for pure entertainment sake, but yes, this is how one of the rarest bikes in India and globally compete amongst one of, it's not an enduro, it's just enduro name, but multi-purpose off-road bike. You liked such weird videos or honest videos, or however you like to put it, do subscribe. Every subscription matters, and I look forward for seeing you guys in my next one. Take care. Thank you. One more thing I would like to mention, since I do have a platform and hopefully few people will be watching this video. If at all you're looking at having a dog, please do adopt. Do not purchase. This is my Daisy. She's with us for 9 years. While I was making this video, she's just been patiently sitting. Indie dogs, they're patient, they are zero maintenance, they're loyal, and they're meant for our small home apartments. Unless you have a bungalow with a farmhouse, Labradogs, Golden Retrievers, if you want to spend extra money, please go ahead. But if you're animal lover like me, please adopt. Pick up a puppy from the street. You're saving that puppy's life. Do not purchase just for the sake of putting it on social media that you have some fancy dog. So please adopt, do not purchase. And in that note, my final goodbye. This bike will be going from my garage because this was with me for 2 days. I thoroughly enjoyed the KTM, but I think my heart is, given an option, I would take the Royal Enfield any day. Okay, take care guys, and I see you in the next one.